The following is a Comfortably Zoned Radio Network production.
We are back. Lenny Randle's Hot Corner. I'm Ralph Tyko with the Comfortably Zoned Radio Network. And from Europe, Lenny Randle. How are you, sir?
I am busy and blessed. I'm starting a new phrase here. And worn out.
And worn out. You sound
busy and blessed.
You sound a little harried. Let's put it that way. You said you had 3, 4, 5 things going on at one time, and but you're covering it. Yeah,
it's kind of interesting. You're either in demand or you're dead. I guess I'm kind of in demand because I'm not dead yet. I had a call from Ed Kranepool yesterday. Went out to see Ed. I'll send you some pictures, and Jim Brewer. And we want to do a tribute to Ed Kranepool, who was a great ambassador for baseball, especially in New York. And his history is like phenomenal.
You know, he went to James Madison High School in the Bronx.
Which is unheard of in the Bronx. So I'm going to try to call him today. He called me yesterday as we were talking about his foot. He had his foot cut off. I just want to share that with some people. He didn't want people to know that, but now it's kind of out there that he's going to have some surgery, and it happened, and he's well, and he's walking with a cane, and he'll be all right. While I'm with him, he had Ed Charles. He said, Lenny, we got to help Ed Charles. I'm going, wait a minute, I'm trying to help you. He's just that kind of guy. He's like Mr. New York. He's like Bloomberg and Koch and the Greenbergs. All the people I met in New York, they were always giving and helping other people.
All three of you guys will never buy a drink in New York City.
Well, it's a good thing we drink Perrier water with a lemon.
Right. That makes it easy on the bartenders. They
love it.
Yes, absolutely. Make sure you're getting the real Perrier water, too, if you're in New York.
The funny thing about it, Ed's going, Lenny, look, I love the Riviera. I love Italy. I love coming out on into some clean. Well, do we have to do a clinic and play golf? I go, Ed, just be Ed. Just be you. Just sit on the beach, throw your feet and the legs in the water, eat 5-course meal, get fat for 2 weeks, and that's all you got to do. And I said, and Sturgis asked me.
Those guys are over there now?
No, we're setting up the event for them to come over to be on the Mediterranean in the spring. We had a team call.
Is it an all-Met?
No, we got to have some Cubs too. No, but it's kind of Metsy and Cubsy and Texas Rangers, and we're gonna mix it up. And John Stearns, Randy Jones wants to come over. Ed Kranepool, Kurt Vavakova, Felix Mian. These are the guys.
Thank John Stearns for me last week. It was terrific. We had Mark McLemore the week before. Papa Jack, Ron Jackson. It's been absolutely very, very cool. I'm enjoying your friends. Let's put it that way.
Well, I'm not getting any sleep. I got too many friends, Ralph. I'm not getting any sleep. Everybody wants to be on the show now, and I'm like, okay, can I get a nap? And they go, what time zone are you in? Because I have to call them like 4 in the morning. Their time might be 6 a.m. My time might be midnight or something, or because the time hit out.
Now California time, as we speak, it's 9:08 a.m. California time. What time is it for you? So I can join.
Just go 3 hours back.
Okay.
It's at night.
3 hours back and lose a day. Is that the way it goes?
8 o'clock.
Okay.
It's like 8 in the morning.
Well, no, it's not. It's got to be like
midnight.
6 in the morning.
No, you're in New York, right?
I'm in California.
Oh, that's right. I'm thinking New York. I'm sorry.
So
California is 6 hours back. Yeah, just go 6 hours back to 8.
So you're
depending on daylight. Yeah, it depends on your daylight saving time.
Morning right now. Look at your watch. What time does it say?
It's PM. It's PM. It's in the night. It's night. You got morning where you are, and it's night where I'm at. It's at night.
And what time at night is it?
8 meetings.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So, all right, we'll make adjustments. We'll do it.
Actually 6. I'm sorry.
Uh-oh.
I do that a lot because in California, New York, I get confused with the 2. So 6. It's 6 p.m. here.
It's 6 o'clock where you are now,
6
right?
o'clock at night.
Okay.
Yeah, but see, it doesn't matter to people because they'll call me any hour of the day, night, morning, 4 a.m., p.m. And the only reason why I'll take any calls is because we take 4 to 6 hour siestas between 12 and 6. Or 12 and 5 or 12 and 4, mid-noon. See, people don't realize that in America, you don't sleep enough. In Europe, you sleep more. Everything shuts down in Europe between 12 and 4, 12 and 5, depending on your job. But it's automatic. The country just drops work.
We
so you only do
living in America have been on to that nap thing for a long, long time. I've been napping my life away.
Well, that's called a power nap.
That's right. That's what I like to tell people, right? My eyes are open. Power nap. Yeah.
The power nap in America is a little different. I've seen people take power naps at a stoplight on the freeway sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
They're so tired.
There's the famous Tony La Russa tape that's on the internet. He was taking a power nap in the middle of an intersection somewhere.
I've seen Lasorda take power naps on the bench during the game.
Oh.
Steve Yeager's our witness. In fact, I should call him right now. He'll tell you some Lasorda stories.
Oh.
Because he worked
right now. I want to tell him how sorry I am about his neck.
Yeah, and the Dodgers lost because he was a bullpen catcher as well. He does a lot of camps with me. And a great guy. And they're not over yet. They're not over the World Series. They're still kind of crying. They got napkins and tissue and towels. They're just crying like Magic Johnson's little kid.
Well, it's been 29 years since they were in the series. And I think, all things considered, that horrible streak that they went through at the end of the year, after a great streak during the middle of the year, all things considered, it wasn't that bad a year. And was it not great seeing Duke and Koufax?
Oh, wow.
Throwing it, simultaneously.
It was history. Relived. People, you could see the hall.
I'm a old New York Giant fan. I got goosebumps. I'll tell you, I have goosebumps for the memories of all 3 New York teams. Yankees, different shows talking about these guys. It's unbelievable. What an era.
It's phenomenal. So much history. When Vin came out and did that skit, impromptu, he's an actor. He's got Hollywood in him. I mean, he's just a master for the game. And Fernando, who speaks, depending on who's around, 4 languages. People don't know that. He's, by the way.
But I wonder how old chronologically. He's 18 at heart. But chronologically, how old do you suppose he is?
Vin Scully or Fernando?
Fernando.
Which one? Fernando. Fernando's like a kid. He's got a son his age, 18, playing golf. When you're in sports, you don't grow up. You kind of stay somewhere between 18 and 30. You just stay there for a long time. Even though you might be 40.
Some people have baseball ages. When he came up, he looked 35 years old.
And he still looks the same.
Yeah.
We golfed in Huntington Beach. I'll send you some pictures. And he still looks like he could go 9 innings. and he cheats in golf. He does all his tricks from the sort of. While we're hitting, Ralph, he has 4 golf balls in his socks. And he's got 5 people following him around, just fan club, friendly, whatever. I don't know what they are, but like entourage. I just said, Fernando, bring your entourage over here to me and we'll take some photos. And all 9 of them came over. And they were like J-Lo's and Christina Aguilera's and, they had this Latin flavor and they're phenomenal personalities, very up-tempo guy. And I said, dude, how do you concentrate? I'm saying this in Spanish. Tu concentración cuando jugando el deporte de golf. How do you got all this beauty around you? had the hottest women around him on the planet, and he's trying to putt. I'm going, I can't think. How do you do this? And then I said, this is not golf attire.
Hey,
and he pulled it off. He goes, pulled off.
Did you get to know Sweet Lou Johnson with the Dodgers?
Yeah. Yeah, we had a golf tournament with him as well in Chino Hills area. And Tommy Davis was with him, and so was Gerald Thomas, and so was Rudy Law. And Jay Johnston was there as well, and Roos and Garvey and Clyde Wright. And I'm going to send you those pictures.
You've had Rudy Law on. Were you Jim Kern's teammate?
Jim Kearns is trying to get me to fish with him. He's an avid fishaholic.
He's going to come on the show right after the first of the year. Yeah,
great.
Right after the Thanksgiving.
Yeah, he's a busy dude.
Friend, and
he'll never grow up either. He's 20 forever.
Right. Fritz Peterson is like that too.
Yeah.
On Facebook, you reach a certain age and you just want to stay that age.
Well, it's kind of a lot of the guys have more fun and more personalities. They're more outgoing. When we played, we were more, media friendly, I thought. I don't know how that changed all of a sudden, but guys are more social media friendly now more than personal media friendly. It's kind of email me, don't talk to me, text me, or read my Twitter. We didn't tweet or Twitter twat. We were in the dilly era. dilly.
Or Twitter twat. I like that one.
We called the guy up and met him in the parking lot.
Those were the days when people had to look each other in the eye and talk to each other.
Oh, yeah.
Or pick up the phone.
The amazing thing, Ralph, just because you're a friend on Facebook doesn't mean you're a real friend in real life. It's not a real friend. You don't know these people.
Oh, no, that's sure.
And people go, I've never seen the guy. Don't use my name. I haven't seen him.
I would not want to insult all my friends on Facebook by associating myself with them as their friends.
You never know what you're going to get, according to Forrest Gump.
Absolutely. Was that a great movie or what? I think that you mentioned that, and I think the music and the theme of it all, and that was just one of the best movies of our generation. Just
nostalgically, to get that footage, from Kennedy to Nixon to all those highlights he had while he was on crutches or with his cast on his legs.
The phenomenal job of them mastering getting him in on it, and blending the footage and all.
Blending the footage,
like that I can't even say, let alone do.
That was fake news. Forrest Gump brought us the first fake news because it looked real.
Right. And now it's all fake news. According to Trump. What do you think of the world situation? We never talk about this, the world situation. What are the Europeans thinking about us right now in America?
Well, right now they want him to sign Rosie and Messier on a long-term contract, and they want Cristiano Ronaldo to stay where he's at. I mean, there's the political scene is like,
so it isn't much of a factor.
Manchester United, come on, let's go, okay?
Okay.
So it's more. That's right now.
I'm
the World
curious
Cup.
too. Do you train soccer players in your account?
Yeah. Well, Bruno Conti. If you look on my page, you see me standing there with Bruno Conti. He's the captain of the Italian soccer team. He lives in the Tuno. He's my best buddy. I've known him 40 years. And he was a former Yankee who didn't want to sign because they'd only offered him $100,000. He's a left-handed pitcher and an outfielder. Bruno Conti was the legendary Hall of Fame with Canellia and Maradona, and I don't know if you remember that era, but he
I don't remember.
Champion. He made the point for the World Cup soccer. I used to go with him and my sisters. We go to his villa. He has a villa in the Tuno and his villa is like a winery, and it's all gated, and and block breaked out. And all 7 of us are there partying, and all of a sudden there's this constant stream of fresh wine coming, and we thought it was water. It's just streaming at the table, and go, who's getting this stuff? He goes, there's a fountain. It's like there's a fountain of youth in his yard. and then my mom and her friends and everybody that came over and Ray, and to this day we still act like we're 30 years old because we think we found the fountain of youth. And Bruno is still involved in soccer. He's a captain of the European team. So they want him to leave, and that's kind of a big deal because they still draw 80,000 people a game. Nothing's gone down, but the first time they've been eliminated is being the European Cup. And that's like a sin. Italy and not in the Cup is like not having tires, Pirellis or Maserati, or it's just not, it's unheard of. It's not like not winning.
I was going to ask you I can't even decide. Him, Bruno, or Ed Kranepool for the next guest. Or Duffy Dyer. I've had Duffy on the show.
Oh, let me call Ed right now because I told him I might give him a jingle today. He called me and he's calling me back.
Let me turn this off and so we don't just sound silly. I sound silly babbling. We'll take a little break, and I'll say this is the Comfortably Zoned Radio Network. I'm Ralph Tyko, and with me is Lenny Randle. This is real cool. We do this regularly. And he's trying to get Ed Kranepool. I'm going to push a little button. We'll have a pause, and we'll be back with number 14, Ed Kranepool. Or number 21, I don't remember. He might have been 7, too.
He had 7. He had number 7.
But
they gave his number when
I'll tell you what, he was 21 when they acquired Warren Spahn, who wore number 21.
Right, and he gave Spahn the number.
And then he went to number 7. He went to 7.
You scared me, kid.
With my memory?
Your memory, yeah. It's like, okay, I'm going to try to...
I can't remember where my keys are. So... it's a mixed blessing. I call myself an idiot non-savant.
Well, I call it a senior moment, and you get 2 a week.
I have more. I have had senior moments since I was 24. So, I'm going to push a button.
Okay.
You get Kranepool, and here we go.
All right. Okay.
I'm back with Lenny.
Oh. Okay, I got a surprise, a very good surprise. I have a Luis Majorel who brought in Juan Gonzalez, who worked with Ivan Rodriguez. He's the Puerto Rican ambassador. I call him the Joe Garagiola of Puerto Rico and the Texas Rangers. He's a guest with Ed Kranepool. We got Ed on the line as well. So, guys, it's going to be a free-for-all. Now, if the phone cuts off, it's because the satellite in Rome, Italy is not as good as the one in New York, Seattle, and Puerto Rico. Okay.
All right. Okay. Well, first of all, I'd like to say what a pleasure it is to meet both of you guys. And Eddie, you're born on November 8th, 1945, was it?
No, 44. I wish it was 45.
Oh, okay.
Hey, the new 40.
I'm born in 46 on the same day, and I'm an original New York Met fan. And I'm from Queens, and you're from the Bronx. And how cool this is for me.
Well, it's great to be on with Lenny. He's been a good friend over the years, and obviously a teammate. And he's got a lot of things to offer baseball, and I'm glad that he's doing well.
Well, you have been on the DL for a little bit, and you're recovering, and I just want to wish you the best for that, Eddie.
Well, thank you. It's coming along, and slow but sure. But I've got about 6 more weeks, I figure, until my last wound operation heals up, and then I'll be able to go forward and get into the second game of the doubleheader.
Oh.
I
was hoping you'd play both games, but You know, I live
That's
for
in the past.
disappointment.
In the past, I did that, and one weekend I played 50 innings over the weekend. You know, so that was a lot. Today, I guess, you know, guys only play
Was
a
that
couple
against
innings.
Philadelphia,
You
if I recall?
I'm trying to think. I think it was Atlanta. I'm not sure. I believe it was Atlanta. You know, they came in and, or the San Francisco Giants. That's what it was, because I remember Gaylord Perry pitched 11 innings in the second game, and of course he went from, and also ran into a Hall of Famer because he learned how to throw the spitball on that afternoon. He wound up pitching 11 innings.
Oh,
you know, so
okay.
He hurt my career. You know, once he learned that pitch, he wasn't so easy to hit when he got 2 strikes on you. He threw the spitball, and of course, you know, that's when he became a 20-game winner, and he went on to have a great career after that.
Okay. Eddie, if I could do nothing else, I would like to clear up the biggest misconception of your career. And I listened to an interview with you from a library. I don't remember if you know where it was, but the biggest misconception was that you snubbed Duke Snider, didn't take his advice, this, that, and the other thing. And the way you explain it was that Casey had been working with you on a certain thing of either not pulling or pulling, and I think it was not pulling, as a matter of fact. And separately, Duke, without knowing this, consulted with you, and you were a 20-year-old kid. You were kind of confused. Would you clear that up?
Well, actually what happened was Casey advised me to go out and take some extra batting practice at the Polo Grounds, and his office was in dead center field, and he said he was going to watch me hit, and he mentioned to me before going out on the field that if I pulled the ball to right field during the course of batting practice, he was going to send me to the minor leagues. And, you know, that was, so he took me out to, you know, went out to batting practice, and the pitcher was throwing the ball away from me. I was hitting the ball to left field. He threw a couple of balls inside. I was still trying to hit the ball to left field because being 20 years of age and not wanting to go back to the minor leagues, I was going to pay attention to the manager. Along comes Duke Snider, who was a good friend of mine, and he goes behind the cage and you see some pitches away, me hitting him to left field, and that's fine. He sees some balls on the inner part of the plate, and me still hitting him to left field, and he says, Ed, you've got to pull those balls to right field. Well, I turned around, you know, I was a little frustrated anyway trying to hit those balls to left field, you know, which is against what you're really supposed to be doing. And I said, Duke, leave me alone. You're not going so good yourself. I got to pay attention to Casey. And of course, you know, the writers heard that and they thought I was really getting on him. But after batting practice, I told Duke what happened, and I said, you know, Casey was watching me in center field. They wanted me to hit the ball the opposite field, get my timing back. I said, you know, I didn't mean to slight you, but you know, obviously I was paying attention to Casey. I didn't go to the minor leagues. And he said, no, that's fine, Ed, no problem at all. And it was over. But meanwhile, when the writers hear that stuff, they're going to write a big story about a 20-year-old, you know, getting on Duke Snider, who was a Hall of Famer and a great player in New York, and they made a big issue out of it. But between the two of us, it was really nothing. It was nothing, and we were good friends, you know, while he played with us, when he got traded, and we talked up until his death. I mean, there's not a problem whatsoever. It was just a misunderstanding, and the writers hearing parts of a conversation, and of course, they make a big issue. And of course, Casey was looking in center field. He had his binoculars out, and, you know, he did say, okay, you did what I told you, you know, and I stayed around a little bit longer before I get sent out. But, you know, he was the kind of manager that if you didn't pay attention to him, he got rid of you in a hurry. It was a one-man show. He ran the show, you know, and you saw it later on that year when Jimmy Pearsall came to us and tried to run around the bases backwards and thought he was being funny on his 100th home run.
Right.
And the next day, Casey got rid of him. So, you know, he ran the show. Even though he was, you know, an older manager, he knew what was going on. And he did it his way or he hit the highway. Later on, it was a manager we had, Gil Hodges, that did the same thing. he ran the show. He didn't have the front office running a show.
Yeah, things
That's
have
good.
changed in today's game, where the general managers pretty much are the puppeteers for the manager. And
well, that's what's going on in baseball today. The game has changed, considerably. The front office runs it. They tell you who to put in the lineup. They hire managers with no experience, and of course they bring them in because they want to control their actions. They're not going to stand up to them. A good manager wants control of his ball club. He's running the club. He's getting hired. He's getting fired for non-productive. If they don't win, the manager gets fired. Well, if you're going to hire me as a manager, I want to have control of who I'm playing on the field. Otherwise, get somebody else, or you manage, the front office. Let them manage. I don't want to get
amazing thing, Ralph. We had
Madison. You went to James Madison in the Bronx, and that's
Monroe was in the Bronx. Madison's in Brooklyn.
Oh, I'm sorry, in Brooklyn, I meant to say.
Yeah.
Hank Greenberg, was his name big when you were a student there? Did you look up to him and say, this is what I want to do in life? Did that motivate you?
Well, Hank was, went to Monroe, and he was the greatest Jewish ball player, I guess, in our area, country. And obviously, everybody was. I saw Hank a number of times in my senior year. He was looking to sign me to fight. He was with I think he was president. That had no bearing on who I signed with. I was a New Yorker. I wanted to play in New York. I was a Yankee fan growing up. If I was picking a ball club, the Mets were a young, up-and-coming team. I chose them because I wanted the chance to get to the major leagues in a hurry. I didn't know it would take me 2 days after graduating high school to get to the major leagues.
Right. But then you went back down. And when you went back down, who helped you? Who helped you back to the big leagues when you were in Buffalo?
Well, the only way you get back to the big leagues is helping yourself by being productive. Every time I went to the minor leagues, I hit well over 300. So, nobody could help you getting back. But who helped me while I was in the major leagues was a guy like Gil Hodges, who taught me the fundamentals of first base, guys like Duke Schneider, who tried to work with you offensively. So there were many, many guys. The Mets had an older, established team, and most of them were willing to help the young players. My first roommate happened to be Frank Thomas, and he was a good player from Pittsburgh, okay?
Right.
And he helped me quite a bit and taught you how to play the games, the ropes. Remember, I was 17. I was 17 in the
league. Kurt. Lenny, this is Kurt. Guys, I got to let you know something. Kurt Bavacqua just bloomed in from the planet Mars, so he's listening.
Okay.
And Kurt, you and Ed go back. All the guys that we all go back. What's great is we've all had a touch of Cepeda. Louis Majoral, saw him in Puerto Rico as a teammate. Willie Mays, a manager and coach for me. And Ed, I'm sure he mentored you. And Kurt Bavacqua had a chance to play with Willie Mays with either San Francisco or San Diego or somewhere in his trails. And we're all related now, guys. We're all cousins.
All right,
well,
so
Lenny, I'm so sorry to bust in like this.
Willie Mays stories. Start with you, Ed. Give me a Willie Mays story.
Well, Willie joined the ball club in '72. He came over from San Francisco. He was a fan favorite in New York, and the Mets brought him in, and he finished his career up with us in '73 on the pen. And he was still, an asset to the ball club, working with all the young guys. I mean, he was a great player to be around. He worked with all the guys. He offered an awful lot to them, fundamentally and physically. He just couldn't do it anymore. I mean, his legs gave out. I mean, he was 43, 44 years of age, but he became a friend of mine. And you don't want to play golf with Willie Mays. Maybe today you do, but years ago he was a great golfer, and he loved to take your money, and he could do it too. He could play.
You know what I do, Kurt? Ed, I just go, here's $500. You're going to beat me. I don't want to.
That's what you got to do, because he's going to beat you. I'll tell you what. Willie was a great player. We used to go down to the Doral Country Club all the time at the holidays, and it was always fun to see the guests wanting to with Willie, but he always loved to play for money, and I saw him take a lot of strokes from guys that he was a better golfer from. But, he was a good guy, and I'm glad to see he's still healthy. His eyes aren't very good, but he's still getting around. He's still working for the Giants, and it's great to see him in the game.
Kurt, you had the privilege of meeting his teammate, Willie McCovey, am I right, with Padres when you played together? Kurt, you still there? Is Kurt gone? Okay. Are you there, Louis?
McCovey was scary, Lenny. I'll tell you what, when you came first base and McCovey came up, if you were holding a runner on first base, I'll tell you what, you were only about 88 feet from home plate, and that wasn't far enough, because I remember a day at Shea Stadium, he hit a line drive to first, and, I'm 6'4", and I jumped to catch it. I actually thought I could catch the ball, and it wound up rising like a golf ball and hit the auxiliary scoreboard, which is on the second deck of Shea, up about 50 feet. I mean, he hits the ball harder than anybody I've seen, and that San Francisco ballpark didn't help him with the wind blowing in from right field. Even Willie Mays, I mean, they had to change his stance a lot of times. Yeah. That was a crazy ballpark, but Willie was
Kurt, you grew up in New York, too.
Yeah.
What part of New York did you grow up?
McCovey?
No, Kurt, you grew up in New York.
I think Kurt went off the air because he got captivated.
He was flying in before. I think he detoured. He He's not around right now. He's gone, but he was busy in Pittsburgh or San Diego or something. He could be with the San Diego Chicken right now.
Right, exactly. Kurt Bravac was a character, guys. You guys all know that because he did. I even remember one time he dressed up like Dick Williams, brought the lineup out. Nobody knew the difference.
Well, I mean, look at Bobby Valentine. He had a mustache on once. He got thrown out of the game with a mustache on.
That's right.
Sat in the dugout,
Yeah.
That was before the umpires had to wear glasses.
That could only happen in New York.
Only in New York is right. Bobby is a good guy. He came on to the ball club and later became a pretty good manager. And, he's out of the game now, but because he wants to run the ball club. And I don't blame him. There's many managers, the older managers around, they wanted control of their ball club, and rightfully so. You take that responsibility when you become a manager. You don't become a yes man. You want to run a ball club. So those old managers that really ran the ball club don't exist anymore. And I have all these new guys that, want to get an opportunity, so they're going to say yes to anything. And you know what? In the long run, I don't know about all these numbers. I think you have to have a feel for the game. The game has changed such where you see somebody come out after 5 innings and they say, well, it's going to be the third time around the lineup. They can't pitch to a guy. Well, just because you're not throwing 98 miles an hour, you can still get guys out if you know how to pitch. That's the problem. I think they don't know how to pitch nowadays. They think the middle of the plate is the pitcher's area. That's the hitter's area. You throw a ball down there, these kids are going to hit it.
It's amazing that their entitlement makes them want to just go 5 or 6 innings or 4 innings, and they're calling it a day now, too, Ed. They don't want to go 9.
Years ago, the great pitchers didn't come out. Bob Gibson's not coming out in 5 innings. Tom Seaver, Steve Carlton, all those guys that made the Hall of Fame, Fergie Jenkins. You faced a lot of these guys, Lenny.
Yeah.
They didn't come out because they weren't going to leave the bullpen to screw up a game that they were doing well in. I mean, you could hear Bob Gibson scream at the managers, go on back to the dugout. And he wanted to finish the game. Anything these guys started, they were going late in the game. There was no such thing as a pitch count. The catcher would tell you if a pitcher was losing it. If he wasn't catching any balls, he was losing it when the guys started hitting line drives off him. But you could see movement. Sometimes when you lose a little velocity, the ball moves a little bit more, and you learn how to pitch. I mean, it's not throwing hard down the middle of the plate because these guys are so big and strong today. The current athlete is so much better physically equipped than we were because they're in shape. You're the only guy I know that stayed in great shape. Most guys have gained some weight, and it's the same thing during the winter seasons. It took a while to get in shape. These current players are big and strong. They work out 12 months a year. They're in fantastic shape. And they can hit the ball out of the ballpark the opposite field. We couldn't do that. I mean, only a couple of guys could do that. You know, Richie Allen's or something like that. But, I mean, the current guy, you have shortstops hitting balls the opposite way out of the ballpark. These kids are strong, and they deserve it. But the pitchers, they got to learn how to pitch not down the middle of the plate, because if you throw 100 miles an hour, I'm 73 years of age, I probably could still hit it someplace. But if you change speeds on me, I'm going to fall down and screw myself into the ground and, you know, never be able to time it. And that's the difference. Learning how to pitch all four corners, up and down, you know, and different speeds. Juan Marichal had a number of different speeds on the ball, and he won 20 games every year. And in his best career year, I think he had 39 complete games. Major League Baseball, 2 leagues combined, don't have that.
You know, it's amazing. A couple of games, we had Seaver as our teammate, and I remember Joe Torre coming out to the mound and he goes, "Tom, how you feeling?" And Tom's going, "I feel good. Who are you bringing in?" Because it depends on who you bring is how I feel.
Right, that's right, because he had just he's into the 8th inning by now, and he's trying to get a W. And, you know, we didn't score a lot of runs back in those days, so he wasn't going to take a chance with a 2-1 game. You know, he wasn't going to let somebody in the bullpen screw up what he's been working hard for, you know. Nolan Ryan,
you mentioned Marichal pitching a lot of innings. He and Spahn hooked up, and they wrote a book about
16 innings. They pitched 16 innings, and I think Spahn was 40-something years of age. I mean, these guys didn't come out of the game, you know. If they didn't have to, and they're getting people out, they don't walk off the mound. You know, they'll get you out with something. They'll throw their gloves up there.
Eddie, I was telling Lenny when he said he might bring you on that I'm old enough to remember. Well, I'm not going to say I'm old enough, but I remember when Warren Spahn came to the Mets, and you gave up your number. He was 21 all his career. And
I gave him that. I gave him number 21, and I didn't even get a call for it. Today they gave Rolex watches. They gave us the number. He was a Hall of Famer. He deserved it. I was only about 20 years of age, I guess, at the age he came to the Mets. I think he came in 64 or 5. Maybe
I think it was 65.
He became the pitching coach. And, you know, so I was, 21 years of age. But I made the All-Star team that year. You know, I didn't care about the number. I mean, he had played so many years, and it was great. So I took a lower number. They had the infielders in New York with lower numbers. So
I see. You took 4. Did you take 14 originally, or was it 7?
No, I was number 21 originally. That was the first number they gave me when I was working out.
But I mean, when you switched from Spahn's number, when Spahn came over.
No, I took number 7. I took
okay, and you kept
it. I was a Yankee fan, so I took Mickey Mantle.
Oh, wow.
I was a Yankee fan. I had 14 or so, and they had to give it up. With number 4, they gave it up.
Yeah, I think your check from Spahn is in the mail.
Yeah, he's going to be sending it. Stadium with the Mets, right?
I have to go visit him. What's that?
You must have played in Yankee Stadium with the Mets.
No, the only time I played in Yankee Stadium, we played a couple of Mayor's Trophy games, which is an early on exhibition game that went for Sandlot baseball. So maybe I played 3 or 4 games in Yankee Stadium, but it was a great park to hit in. That short right.
All right. Well, I'm gonna do my only skill. I'm gonna give my only skill is this. Lenny's heard it 2 or 3 times. Listen up. Now batting for the Mets, number 7, Ed Kranepool, number 7.
Yeah, sounds like we'll be going over to Yankee Stadium. I'll tell you what, I wanted to play there, but they had some pretty good young first basemen. They were winning pennants every year, so I don't think the opportunity would have been stuck in the league completely. And better for me in the long run, I would have got my experience in the minor leagues. I got it in the major leagues against guys like Koufax and Marichal and Drysdale. And, you hit 260, it's a little tough against those guys, but when you're 17, 18 years of age, not so bad.
Not so bad at all. Wow. I wish I had your past. Let me to you that way.
I wish I had it again. I'd like to make a comeback, at 17 again in the major league. It's a great opportunity for these young players.
What would you do differently if you had that
I would
chance?
sign with the Mets again, but I think I would get $10 million bonus now.
That's right.
I wouldn't be at 73. I wouldn't be going to work every day. I think I would be retired in Florida, or I'd be with Lenny in Rome, Italy, or something like that. We'd be having a good time. But I'm busy running my business. I'm having a good time, and once I get physically back into shape, I'll be ready to, make a comeback.
Hey, in the spring, get ready, Ed. You and Ralph are going to be out there in Mediterranean, so get ready.
Okay,
I'll be in Alameda, but
okay. Well, New York,
in the Mediterranean.
The winter. Yeah, well, we're ready for the winter in New York, so I just want to wish all you guys a happy Thanksgiving. Hopefully.
Well, I just want to. I left New York to go in the Air Force and stayed in California. When I was about your age, coming up to the Mets, and I only come back to visit. I miss the city. You were loyal. You lived in New York basically all your life.
I still do.
Yeah.
I still do. And
hey, we call him the mayor. He's the mayor ambassador of New York. That's before Koch Bloomberg and all the rest of those guys.
I'm here.
That's the town, baby.
I still love it. And it's always good to talk to you, Lenny. See you later.
All right, buddy. Take care. Stay blessed. All right, talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Lenny. You're terrific bringing these guys. This is fun.
It's going to be better. We'll be live with a camera next, so stay tuned, folks. It only gets better. Arrivederci, ciao, and grazie, piacere.
Lenny, you got to remember, I have a face for radio.
Oh, shalom. Okay.
And a voice from hunger.
You'll shave for Steinbrenner.
For the bucks, I guess I would. But no one's offering me bucks. And they'd rather see my face with the beard covered up than uncovered.
Okay.
Well,
there's a before and after in everybody's life, so you got time to figure that out.
What Casey say? Everybody has his day, and I've had a few of mine. So, be well, my friend.
Okay. Be well. Shalom.
Call me when you're ready. Anytime, we'll go on.
All right. God bless. Take care.
All right. Be well. Best to Linda, too.